All right, according to your plea bargaining agreement, the state is waiving the enhancement. They're asking that you be punished to 1 year in the Bear County Jail under 1244, and there's an $800 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes.
All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 0000978 State versus Jessica Cantu. Could I have parties announced for the record?
David Rodriguez for the defendant.
And are you Ms. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Odyssey is being very finicky today.
I have to do an update on it, just.
Yeah. And there are no applications in this case?
There you go.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Cantu, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, state just waive the punishment, please.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Cantu, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes. Yes, sir. Okay, yes.
All right. And when I say the plea bargain page, that's just the page that tells you what you've agreed to. So do you understand what you've agreed to?
Yes.
All right. According to your plea bargain agreement, the state is waiving the enhancement. They're asking that you be punished to 1 year in the Bear County Jail under 1244, and there's an $800 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes. Could I ask you for a favor? Is there any way that I can referral to you for help?
I'm sorry, what?
A referral for me to go, because they're asking me to take something from the court or from
So what will end up happening, when you're at the Bear County Jail, at the jail, they have different organizations there, and they will do the referral for you for Haven for Hope.
Okay.
I personally can't do that because if I accept this plea, you'll no longer be under my jurisdiction. But I will tell you this, when you're released from jail, if for some reason you don't get to the referral and you can't get there, if I'm still here, you come back here, then I'll be able to pick up the phone, okay?
Okay, yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So everyone, is that the plea?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
I'm sorry, yes, sir. State officer sees the other way, what is wrong?
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, off the record for a moment. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can you call Esperanza Court and see if they have anyone who can come over and give her some resources
Yes,
to help her get into Haven for Hope, or either call the community court? We'll see what we can do today, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony with your attorney? Did you understand it and
Yes.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of the client?
Only that I would urge the court to follow our plea bargaining agreement.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bear County Jail under 1244, give you credit for any time served. There's an $800 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. Now, with regards to the 1 year in the Bear County Jail, I'm not in charge of whether the jail counts every day that you spend at the jail, 2 days for every 1 day spent. That's completely up to them. The only thing you're receiving from me is a sentence of 1 year in the Bear County Jail. So you will not spend longer than a year. You should not, okay? All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so deputies, if you could let her remain in the courtroom, I'm gonna see if I can get someone to come over from the treatment courts to help her out. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, the name of that place is
Wait a minute.
Wakayama or Wamayaka.
Oh, gosh, there's so many cities that are so close to that.
Wamayaka, I think that's what it is.
Not Yokohama.
No. Let's see. Wakayama, Wakayama. Oh, that's where that lady says she teaches. And she bought a home there and now she teaches, but she speaks the language fluently.
And she actually moved there permanently and bought a
Yeah,
house.
she's from Australia though. I think Australian or either New Zealand.
Okay, so kind of funny. One of my coworkers was an Aussie, and I had a British coworker also, and students absolutely could not tell the difference between our accents. And I was like, "You think the Aussie and I sound the same?" Yeah, pretty much.
Aussie, oi, oi.
But as they pointed out, it's like, well, look, the Tokyo and Osaka accents are really different, and it's like I bet you could not hear the difference. Like that is fair. Like no, there's no way I could hear the difference.
Oh, wow.
So,
All right, everyone, the court's gonna go on recess unless, is there something?
We're ready.
We have one.
Okay, just 1 second. Good thing I didn't delete that. Let me see the name. Sorry, I'm glad you guys caught that. Jonathan Pomerantz.
Right.
morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
I'm doing well.
All right, today is plea deadline date.
We respectfully ask that the case be set for trial.
All right, how long is this trial gonna take?
Discharge, where it comes from.
A week?
I would imagine. So.
All right, and I need an acknowledgement of discovery. Ms. Ferguson.
Sure.
Need a jury trial date, family violence. They say a week.
April 28th.
All right, April 28th will be your jury trial date. Counsel, please check with the jail to see if they still have that 72 hours before to have your client dressed.
Okay.
Because, you know, they changed the policy.
When did they change that? I didn't know that.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just had a defense attorney tell me now, well, no, I think Deputy Lord told me now you have to have the clothing there 72 hours in advance.
Clothing there, okay, not the letter, the clothing.
Yes.
Okay.
And here's the thing, my understanding, if you have it sooner, they're not gonna, I mean, later than the 72, not gonna accept it.
Okay.
And if you have it, if you do it 80 hours, I'm sorry, 80 hours in advance, they're not gonna accept it. It has to be,
There's a window.
yes, has to be the 72 hours.
So there's a window and then I wait 4 hours to get them to close.
Yes.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Hey, I'm on that page. I don't know if they're on that page.
Okay.
And you may want to talk with Deputy Laura to see if it's changed since then.
Okay.
And you guys are not going to have any motions that I need to hear.
I don't anticipate any at this time. If there are some, I'll ask that we come back within the next 30 days. So that way they're in advance of trial,
All right.
if that's okay with the court.
Yes. All right, we will see you then.
Do I just turn in the discovery acknowledgement to the,
Yes.
okay, all right.
And then I'll sign it.
Okay, thank you,
All
Judge.
right, thank you.
Almost as though the time on the deadline had been swiftly breached, the warring guilds prepared to engage in a final standoff. As they stood at the precipice, a single question echoed in the contenders' minds. What impact would this inevitable showdown have? The dust had settled on the initial skirmishes, with sides drawing and finalizing their strategies. But the tide about to turn in an unexpected way, with a new variable igniting a fresh wave of uncertainty. In the grand courtroom theater, the tension had thickened with every ticking second, as one privileged assigned case reached its critical deadline. Nirma, a historian in a room, searched through the script for one name that would mark the beginning of a new chapter. Jonathan, a knowledgeable contender, stood ready, eager for the chance to present his argument. In the first phase of the encounter, the heated tactics and secret maneuvers were a fresh talk. A deadline loomed like a silent sentinel, while a peculiar window concerning a prisoner's clothing overshadowed the proceedings. Revised policies and strict timelines cast a shadow of uncertainty. This confusion echoed the underlying tension as contenders worked to navigate the maze of bureaucratic rules. And then, in silence, a door would be opened to a new puzzle, a distinct set of characters, asked to confront their own fate.